Hello, everybody. Welcome. Tom Caltabiano here. Now with sound. I think I was muted. Yes, that's what happens. Hi, Thomas Gerard. How are you? It's funny because I always look forward to these Sundays because we get to share a lot of things about Loves Raymond and other stuff. We're introducing other stuff. Welcome. Everybody loves Raymond 360. Waiting for so many things to happen here. Hi, Gil in the United Kingdom. Good to hear from you. Good to see you on here. How's it going? Do you have the heat wave in the UK? We're getting it here. And I always love when people will watch this like in December and they'll be like, what was that like? What was he talking about? Okay, let me take a sip. What is the fancy tea I have? Okay. Here we go. In orange, the super. So watch this, folks. This is called Welcome to. Yeah, that might be too far for the arm. Like if I bring it to myself. Yeah, right there seems like home. But is the autofocus working? Working. Whatever word I said. Our favorite quotes mug. Okay, so now I will drink some tea. And this is fancy schmancy tea. By the way, I don't mind going to this. I'm going to go to this camera again. Here we go. Yeah, it just doesn't. Is it possible autofocus is not on? Interesting. Okay, there we go. So this is that fancy tea that came in a crazy box. This is called, I think, Cherry Blossom. Is that what it's called? You guys can probably read it. Oh, there we go. Cherry Blossom Tea Forte. It was in a gift bag that Raymond got for something. I don't know, the Emmys or something, and he's very generous. He's like, do you want this? Because I don't drink tea, and it'll go in the garbage. So I'm kidding. He doesn't say it'll go in the garbage at all. Okay, let's see. Let's bring up, hello, everybody. Yes, Thomas Gerard. Yeah, the audio is tricky because sometimes it mutes, and then sometimes, various things. Let's see here. Hi, Tabitha. Hi, Karen. Hello, everybody. Hi, Kathleen. Gil, a little cooler today. Let's bring that up, our friend Gil. A little cooler today in the UK, but it's warming up again next week. Yeah, I know it's boring to talk about the weather for most people, but it's a bonding experience, just like everybody loves Raymond. Hi, Anita. Did the audience ever break the actor's concentration? That's an excellent question. Let me say a few more hellos, and then I will address that one first. You know what I need is a pencil. I had a pencil. I found the world's greatest pencils. Let me see, but I don't know where you. Oh, I had a cup with pencils on it. Someday I will flip this camera around, and you go, Tom, what happened? Was there a robbery? The place is completely, it's all right. It's not that important. I just got to remember that I was going to, about the breaking the actor's concentration. Yes. Anita, you had a cherry blossom lint chocolate today, but strange taste. Interesting. Well, then I'm going to have to taste that, won't I? Okay, here we go. And again, Instagram. Did we go live on Instagram? Yes, there we go. Let's go. Let me scroll up and say hello to our Instagram friends. Tom Caltabiano here. Everybody loves Raymond 360. Let's see this. Adding to my lexicon, Auto Farkas. Watching on Instagram today since Facebook chat freezes on me. Well, Greg Foster, that's weird. Why is it freezing on you? Does it always freeze or just for my little show here, my broadcasters? Zony Pony 54. Hi, Tom. Forecast. We're on Instagram here, folks. Is for 116 degrees in Phoenix. So you have a cold snap there compared to what you guys usually have. Very interesting. That's weird. Hi, Karen Jack. Karen Jack, I told you I read. By the way, I still have. So I had to hide it from the crew and everybody. So I switched it out of the bark thing, and I put into a box that says "Poison, do not eat," and there were still 2 pieces missing. Hi, Donnell. Hi from Cordova Lake, Ontario. Where is Cordova Lake, Ontario? I don't know. Um, uh, okay, there we go. Let's see. There you go. It was on Manuel Folks's. I fixed it. Your camera. There we go, Matt. Very good. Uh, I love your new mug display. Oh yes. So we're testing out all kinds of things. We wanted to add a pop of color, they would say. And so the only problem with the mug display is we have so many mugs, but they're all in use. So those are mugs that I have to drink from. So I'm going to have to reach back there and get that mug, although I have my tea mug until I get parched again. So let's try. Let's see if Matt is telling the truth. Yes, he is telling. Wow, look at that. Focus, sharp as a tack, snapped right in there on our mug. Okay. I wanted, I love this because somebody mentioned something. I go, let me talk about this subject today. Thank you, Karen Edwards, for noticing it. Hi, Lynn from Toronto. Beautiful weather all weekend with low humidity. Deb in near Buttsville, New Jersey. True name. Cordova Lake is 2 hours from Toronto. North of Toronto, west of Toronto, east of Toronto. Interesting. 2 hours, though. That's, well, I guess depending where it goes. Hello, Mona. Hi, Tom. Hi, Ray. Just popped in to say hi. Very hot. Interesting. And can't stay long. Okay. Is that the original canister? Hi, Lynn Wiedenroth? Wiedenroth. I don't know. That's kind of a name-ish that I should be able to pronounce. That is one of the original canisters. They made, I didn't get the exact number, but for those of you that have watched know, there are certain things like the toaster, there's only one of. The canister, there, I want to say there were at least four, because Roy Rosegarten, Ray's manager, has one. Rhonda, which is now on display at the Long Island Museum with the entire Loves Raymond exhibit. Then I believe the guy who wrote it, the gentleman who wrote it, has one, and then so that's three, and then I heard there's one other one, but I did not see it. So yeah, so they had to have multiple just in case something happened when it fell down the steps and kept coming up. Hi, Daniel Booth from Oklahoma City. I don't think we've had anyone from Oklahoma City. That's very nice to see you. Welcome. Hi, Kim. Why is that name familiar? I'm going to have to miss today. The family has a tea time reservation at Top Golf. You have to cancel golf. There is only one way out of this. I didn't lie when I said it was like crack. Yeah, Karen Jack. So Karen Jack made this thing called Cashew Crunch. Is that what it's called? Cashew bark. Somewhere in there. Unbelievably good. Fantastic. One of the best things I've ever eaten. Really, really amazing. Hi, Anita John. I was drinking ginger ale with my lunch yesterday, and I was wondering what was the reason behind choosing that as a main drink for the show? Excellent question number 2. Cashew brittle. I sit corrected. Cashew brittle. Okay, so let me go back. Let's. Oh, I lost picture. Let me see. Why did I lose picture? I don't know. Could it be me? Is that on? No. Instagram is. Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh, I might have done something with my fade to black. I might have faded to black. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. How funny is that? So
watch the button.
So I hit with my elbow here. This is my elbow, folks, just in case you don't know. And there's a device that allows me to switch. Back to black? No, I think you can see me. I see me. Yeah, you probably have a delay. Okay, sorry everybody. What I wanted to do is see if you actually noticed the difference between me and just a black screen. Hi everybody up here. Hello everybody. Hello everyone. UK here. Lynn. Okay, now these are back and now. Would you consider virtual tours for the ELR exhibits? Mark, what is your name? Mark Humfleet. There's a lot of names out there in the world, folks, and I have been able to mispronounce almost all of them, so you're welcome. All right, let me get back to questions now, and then we'll catch up. See, what happened is I I try and check all of the comments because when I wasn't looking at comments and I was doing a peppermint bark promotional ad, I was getting screamed at on the comments. But I can't, when I'm doing something, I can't see the comments. Does the audience ever distract the actors? No, never. So one of the things that when you watch the show, you're in it. When I, Tom, watch the show, I'm completely lost in that episode. I'm very much behind the scenes, so it might be something that I wrote, sitting at my desk, and now somebody else is saying it. But the show comes alive. I don't know how best to explain it. It just does. It just does. So one of the reasons is the actors are so in the moment and so ensconced in delivering the lines or living in the moment that the audience disappears. The cameras disappear. The audience is so far away. Now, when I post those pictures of the audience, it looks like, oh my gosh, they're in the bedroom and there's 4 cameras pointing at Ray and Deborah. But when you're in there and you're talking, Ray's talking to Deborah, they're taken in the moment. So I think it's different when you're watching a photograph. When you see a photograph, you see that perspective. And so it seems obvious, like if you're talking, then there's 200 people, 100 feet away, you would notice. If they were in your bedroom all of a sudden, you would notice 200 people in your bedroom. But they're so used to it also. So there's something called acclimation where, on the early, for example, in the early space program, what did they do? They did simulations time after time after time, so everything was rote. So it wasn't really a new experience for them. So when you're acting, when Patty's there in bed with Raymond, she's thinking of the line, she's in the moment, the cameras disappear. I know it's hard to believe because from the outside, it's just like we talked about. I posted a thing which I'll talk about. Would you have trouble if your spouse or you saw your parents or somebody marrying somebody else on TV? Well, the question, and I asked this of Patty, I think, and Ray maybe also when we did a table read to benefit multiple myeloma, one of the common questions is, does it bother your spouse when you are kissing somebody else? In show business, it's when I asked that question on that table read for the Q&A, not in a mean way, but Patty just kind of dismisses it because if you're in acting and you're in acting class and you're 19 or 20 or 21, you're so used to having to do that in a scene. Now, when you're a normal person, you're projecting your normalcy of like, I'm married, there's my wife, and now she's kissing some good-looking guy who doesn't have a shirt on. That would bother some people would be bothered by that. But in the acting world, it's such a common thing that it's not even a factor. So when I ask that as an audience member, you're like, hey, would that bother you? Because I think it would bother me. But for them, it's just so far past it. And it feels, it's not dismissive of the question. It's just like not a factor. It's not a factor. So the same way with, does the audience out there bother them? Having said that, I think my friend worked with Michael Douglas, I want to say, and he did an appearance on something, and he wasn't used to a live audience. He was a movie star, and a movie star is a crew, and you have cameras, and there's 4 people there, and there's a close-up, etc., versus 100 cheering, 200 cheering people that far away. So there you go. That is the answer of, do the actors get distracted from the audience ever? 99.9. So I never saw it once on Loves Raymond where someone's like, an actor's like, I can't, I heard I saw a woman up there and she distracted me. So and also there's a sea of lights also pointed at you. So there was one giant diffused, which means it's like a soft white lengthy box that was over the audience. So even if you wanted to look at the audience, it was a little bit like, okay, I can't really see the audience. So there you go. Excellent question. All these questions are excellent now. So Mark Humphrey, would we ever consider a virtual tour for the ELR exhibits? So yes. How would we do that? So here, let me just frame it a little bit. I'm Tom Cultipiano. I was a writer on Loves Raymond. I took a lot of photos that ended up being used a lot. Long Island Museum exhibit has nothing to do with me officially, other than it's everything that all my photos, etc. So I'm involved in that way, and I help facilitate getting the set from the TV special over to New York. But I'm not in control of that exhibit. There's a gentleman named Kevin who's an amazing artist who designed the whole exhibit. When it was at the Paley Museum, it was my photos and there were artifacts, etc. And I helped, but there was the Paley Museum is a really prestigious museum. So Tom can't be like, can we do some virtual tours over here? Because I would like to, help Mark out so he could see it. So having said all that, it's a great idea. And if the exhibit moves somewhere else, maybe we can pitch that, Mark, and we'll let you know right away. But excellent question. Excellent question. Okay. Bob Silva, it was like radio there for a second. Excellent, Bob. Excellent use of comedy. I do appreciate that. Karen Jack, I think Brittle may have earned the distinction of being talked about for the greatest number of weeks after the initial tasting. Yes, absolutely, because of that I'm a kind person, because of your unbelievable mistake, Karen, of putting it in a peppermint bark box with somebody who's completely ignorant about peppermint bark. Okay. Hi, Deb Tucker Frank. No Fat, Season 3, Episode 10, The Jiggly Gelatin Tofu Turkey. What was the prop actually made of? And did the cast have to chew on something genuinely awful to get those physical reactions? So no, that is acting. I think it was, we've asked Rhonda, we'll have Rhonda back again. That was soy. It was some type of soy gelatin weird thing. The actors did not have to taste something terrible. Brad Garrett won 3 Emmys. Did he win 3 Emmys? I think so, for Loves Raymond. And that's just like his limp. Everyone thought, well, was he injured in real life? I don't know. Maybe he was. So no, they didn't take. That was just really, really good, really good acting. Okay, let me scroll up here, everybody. Let's go back. Let me go to Instagram here. Where is Instagram? Instagram, let's catch up. Here we go. By the way, you're low budget when your elbow can throw the production into a tizzy. Hi, everyone. Tom watching from Tustin. Kotza 899. I heard the water in Los Angeles is 76 degrees Fahrenheit, getting like Florida water temperatures. Can I tell you something for everybody who... just as an aside, if you live in Florida, the water is so warm in the ocean. The Pacific Ocean, I've never felt it warm. It's always freezing. So, it's maybe it is, I don't know, but I've never felt it that way. Okay, so yes, we've talked about it before, but I will bring it up now because you brought it up. Ginger ale was just something that Raymond drank. Ray does not drink coffee or tea, hence my free delicious tea here. I don't know why I would plug this tea. It is tasty, but that's why I have this fancy schmancy. It comes almost in a jewel box, these tea fortes, whatever, which is very interesting. So Raymond didn't drink coffee, still does not drink coffee, does not drink tea, does not drink alcohol, never had a drinking problem, just doesn't drink any of those. And he really in real life drank ginger ale, so they're like, okay, give him ginger ale, that's what he wants. And then there was no promotional thing. I believe eventually Canada Dry Ginger Ale did send free product. It's very interesting because it was kind of a weird promotion that they got for free, just unusual. Because usually on TV, everything, if you notice, everything on TV, the label is bogus. In other words, Coca-Cola, it does not say Coca-Cola, it says cola on it. And they're all prepared because TV companies don't want to give away free advertising. So what's weird is we did. Okay, let me see this. Here we go. Hello, Neil Passmore. Now, Neil, you are in the UK. Am I making that up? I've had a couple of mistakes, even early on with Donnell, where she's in someplace called Texas, and I thought she was in the UK. Okay, let me bring that up. Tom, I watched the breakup tape today, which you co-wrote with Aaron Shore. Hilarious. Just wanted to ask if you came up with the superbly hysterical poem, Deborah's Ears, in response to one that she had received from the ex. That was, I think, Aaron came up with the first line and I came up with the second line. So that was based, Aaron had so Aaron Shore in real life had a tape that he kept of a woman breaking up with him, which is very weird. And so he said, Tom, I have this breakup tape, and maybe we could make a story out of it that Ray keeps the breakup tape, which, by the way, it's Ray won 1 Emmy for acting, and it was for that episode. He submits one episode. When you're a lead actor, you get to submit 1 episode. He submitted that, and he won an Emmy for it, which made me very happy. I remember with that poem, Aaron came up with the cartilage line. I can't even remember the poem, but with gentle ridge, there's no bone in there, it's cartilage. And then I think I came up with the second line of that poem. What's interesting about that is Aaron Shore came up with that idea because it happened to him in real life, and we're trying to think of what is the rest of the story. And I said, Aaron, can you bring it up to your wife? Can you try and get into a fight with your wife or see how this would go? Because would you be weirded out if your spouse kept a tape of somebody breaking up with them? Because I think you would, because it'd be like, do you carry a special place in your heart for this person that you can't let this tape go of them breaking up with you? And I don't think that was Aaron's cause. But all works out because Aaron is no longer married to his wife, so it worked out fine. Because Aaron also erased his wedding video, if you guys remember. Excellent question, Neil Passmore from the UK. Please let me know when it is. Can you share any ideas that were scrapped for an episode? Danielle. Wow, I had you wrong. Danielle Booth. I have Italian relatives, and they're married, and one of them's name is Danilo, and the husband's name is Danilo, and her name is Daniela. Very annoying. I've asked them to legally change their name. They have chosen not to. Good morning, Louise, from Sydney. Do you say good day, or is that an afternoon greeting? I don't know. We would like to go to Australia, all the Raymond people. I love the episode when Robert got married. Yes, I believe that would be called Robert's Wedding, that one. Wish he could have stayed with Amy longer? What does that mean? What does that mean, stayed with Amy longer? The series ended. Yes, we all wanted to see them have kids, etc. I took that back. Okay, Kathy Pine, I hope you are feeling well. Grew up on Lake Superior where the water can be 56 degrees in July. We still went in. Yeah, I will just tell you this, for those of you that don't know geography of the United States, for those of you who are in Australia or the UK, when you're in Florida, it's really warm. And I took a road trip when I graduated high school, and I drove down to Florida with 4 of my friends, and we swam in Florida, and it was the greatest time of our life in June. And even going back to Virginia, which is, I don't know, halfway between New York and Florida, it was already cold. I was like, oh, I've been spoiled by the warm Florida waters. So there you go. Lake Superior, good luck getting into 56-degree water. Hi, Laura Campbell. Looking back, is there one creative decision that seemed small at the time but ended up being essential to the show's success? The biggest thing is casting everybody that they did, because you can't imagine anybody being Deborah, Raymond is Raymond. The show was built around Raymond. By the way, look at how pretentious this tea bag is. Okay, I'm going to test that. Look at that. That is, there's people, it's a pyramid, and it's dripping. Okay, a dripping pyramid. But that is crazy. And then it's got a gold, I don't know, what is that, a gold or a leaf or something? They're really getting a lot of free promo from me today. There you go, Instagram. Look at that. That's a lot. That's quite the contraption for tea. It just caught my eye. That's why I went there. Okay, so how great is this 2-camera setup? It's a game changer. There was a topic I was talking about. Oh yes, the most creatively. So casting was huge, right? Because And the truth is, the head of comedy at CBS, she told me once, a show can succeed with mediocre writing and great cast, but not the other way around. And I would tend to agree. And then, casting Amy. So somebody made a joke that Monica Horan, who played Amy, I wonder how she got her job. And so I wrote, well, she slept with the executive producer, which is what they are insinuating. So I brought it right. That's what do you say? Rather than avoiding that topic, I said that answer. But was she good? Was she a perfect match for Robert? Like, if she did sleep with the executive producer and got the job and was terrible, you'd be like, how did she get that job? She was terrible. You got to fill in the second part. And the truth was, she was not a suggestion of her husband. She was a suggestion of Steve Scrovan, one of the writers, who's like, your wife would really be good at that part. And Phil was like, please, 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 I see her at home. Please don't make me have to see her at work all the time. So that story arc of Robert marrying Amy gave us a tremendous amount of stories. So that was really a key factor also. All right, do I want to reach back here to the new, let me see. Let me see how far back I can go. Which one? Oh yeah, this one. So now the colors, I need to show the inside of these colors are so good. Okay. There we go. See, that's not bad either. AIS. This is a cold drink. Forget what's in it. I always forget what's in it. Hazelnut, I think peanut butter, and this little bat guano or something. Just a formality. Hold on, let me see. Let's see, looking back. Karen, do you mean you wish Robert and Amy were TV longer as a spin-off series? Yes, we know that story, which I can share. Just a formality. Season 7, episode 14. By the way, I have to go through my postings on Facebook, which I have found very helpful to people. Just a formality. For those of you just joined, Tom Caldabiano here. Everybody Loves Raymond writer, just talking about all things Raymond to our live audience. Just formality, season 7, episode 14. Richard is in uniform right behind Robert when Robert proposes to Amy. Do you remember if it was Ray's idea to have his real brother witness that massive milestone moment for the character he inspired? I think it was. So, just a formality, excellent question. Just Formality features Ray's brother. So I posted a video of Ray's brother on, maybe now's a good time to bring up all that stuff. Let's see, I can't look at the Mets score because it's too sad. Thank you for doing the alarm. Yes, reminder about question we were going. Yes, okay, awesome. These are awesome. Get milk and eggs. Okay, it's not for the live right now. So I posted a video of Ray and his brother at the finale. So for the just a formality, the whole idea was Raymond initially had his brother in the toaster episode. He's a security guard that comes up at the end when there's a commotion and he doesn't really have any lines. He was also in, there's a couple episodes, I'm not going to name them all, that you guys have but some of them you've missed. But the most obvious one is in the checkbook episode where Richard drags Raymond off along with Robert when he tries to break into the ATM. Just a Formality was a giant shoot. It was when we say our only outdoor shoot, Italy had outdoor shoot, but a rare outdoor shoot. Bully on the Bus had an outdoor shoot as well. But a lot of people confuse Ray's brother with another policeman that is in that episode. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of Richard. So, was it Ray Romano's idea to bring his brother into Just a Formality? I don't remember, because there is when you have family, okay, you've seen this show. The show is not far from the truth. When you have your brother and, you have to worry about, is your brother going to say something stupid to Phil or say whatever, which never happened. And actually Ray ultimately had asked Richard to review every episode. So Ray would come into the writer's room with a piece of paper and he would go, okay, he would break out this piece of paper and he would go, okay, this is from Richard. The checkbook, sitcom-y, did not enjoy it. Like he would read this whole review of the episode by Richard, and it was funny because he did enjoy some of them, but he would not, no holds barred. Like, you're asking for a lot. So here is, let's see this. Here is this. So here is, let me just use all the technology we have right here. There is Ray's brother. For Instagram people, Ray's brother, obviously the shorter one, and that speaks to the casting. When they were looking to cast, they were going to cast somebody shorter than Raymond. Oh, my phone. Shorter than Raymond, but Brad Garrett walked in and hit it out of the park, so they went with Brad Garrett, and that only wound up with 3 Emmys. So now, just to avoid any confusion here, okay, just so people know, that's Ray, that's Richard, and that's Robert. What was it? Turn alerts off. Is that what you said last time, Matt? So here we go. Oh, and let me see this. So there is Ray. Wow, I should have gone back. That was Robert, Ray, and Richard. Okay, Richard is the policeman. It gets confusing, but what are you going to do? So now let me go back to me here. I don't know is the short of it. I'm not sure if he requested that, but here I'm looking for this. So a lot of people, here we go. All right, Tom, nice use of the phone, and then get rid of that. There is Ray's real life brother, Richard, who played the character Robert, the policeman is based on him. There he is, and I think somebody Cuffer, is that what he says? Somebody Cuffer. But he says it in that New York accent. So there you go. An excellent thing from this big outdoor scene. And I remember also when we were shooting that, Maura Tierney stopped by. I got to find those photos. What a wealth of information, I have to say. And here's one more. Let me show this. Okay, that has my watermark, but what are you going to do? And there we go. There is Richard and Robert on the set of the show. So excellent question. Excellent question. And by the way, there were a lot of informal conversations. So, they'd be working on 3 scripts ahead, and then, Phil would go, "Hey, Ray, do you want your brother to come out for this episode?" So it wasn't usually at that point in the series, which is much later in the series, it wasn't like, "I have an idea, Ray. What if your brother?" It would be like, "Do you want your brother to come out for this?" "Yeah, okay. I'll tell Richard, and then you want to give him a line or so it's like that type of casual thing. All right, moving on. Awesome, so many answers to so many great questions. How well they hold on glasses up? Yes, there we go, Karen. Was Patricia ever injured when Ray drug her up or down the steps, beat her up across the floor, banging off the fridge, etc.? No, Mike. Excellent question. But you know what? I didn't. That comes up a lot, and I don't remember. Next time Patty's here, I will ask her that, because I don't think she ever was. Because she had to rehearse that. She had to rehearse getting thrown against the refrigerator, etc. So, Tom, what happened to the cookie lady? She lived happily ever after. I want to say she married Peter. Yeah, the cookie lady. So again, it's so interesting when you see the show as a observer and you're on the inside. The cookie lady, Amy Aquino, was just phenomenally, unbelievably funny, and was great. Anytime you have a nemesis, anytime something hurts your main character's life, you want that character. So you really, really want that character. And Amy was the perfect nemesis. So Peter a date for Peter was the end of the series. So a lot of people are like, I would have loved to have seen more episodes with her. So, one of the examples I give is the vacuum cleaner saleswoman. Okay, from the Humvac episode, was phenomenally good, but there was no storyline for her. There was nothing to continue. The cookie lady, Amy Aquino, was like, so she's phenomenal. She's terrible to Raymond. She has to come back. And then she just kept scoring. So you could have written a series for Amy Aquino and Chris Elliott. They were great, but the show was ending. So that's what had happened. My haircut, I almost shaved the hair off. Danilo's name is annoying. Yes, that is true. That is very true. For let's watching a vote for Deborah. Ray is hysterical. Yes. One very good line was a Christmas episode when Ray said to Deborah, "Do you know how close you are to the end of your life?" Yes, very good ones. Hey, ELR friends, don't forget the like button. Interesting. This was the best show ever, Tom. Karen, you're very nice to say that. Casting fabulous. Okay, let me scroll down to the end and then I go back because sometimes people answer questions. The lady who played Deborah's boss, Charlotte, was in the movie Airplane, right? So what's interesting is I realized I would win most Trivial Pursuits games about Everett Raymond. We're thinking about trying to do a trivia question every day, just for you guys, because it's hard to stump you guys. But I will tell you a story. So yes, the woman who played Deborah's boss, I was at a. This is for those of you that are old enough. This will sound like name dropping. For those of you that are young, this is called a head scratcher. Like, why are you bringing up this person? I don't know. I, through my friend Bobby Malozzi, the pastry chef in upstate New York, who makes phenomenal coffee cake stuff, Tyrone, anything you can find in a pasticceria. He did a, what would you call it? It was a pastry type of show on a PBS series up in near Vermont. And it was starring Dom DeLuise. So for those of you that are old enough, Dom DeLuise is a name you know. For those of you young enough, he's a very funny Italian actor who did a ton of movies, a ton of guest spots on something called The Dean Martin Show. So my friend Bobby, randomly, they're like, hey, we need a pastry chef to do this PBS series near Vermont. So Bobby did it, and then he became friends with Dom DeLuise. He introduced me to him, and then we ended up going to his house a lot, and I would cook a Sunday dinner with him, and we ended up cooking his last Sunday dinner, not knowing it was going to be his last. Well, he would have these great ones, and this was a big thrill for me for a person to meet celebrities. At the table once was, I can't even remember his name, but what did he do? Conjunction Junction, okay? He is a famous trumpet player, and he played trumpet in the Merv Griffin show. And Conjunction Junction, what's your function? Okay, that song, he sang lead on it. And I saw him perform live in person, but he was at one of these Sunday lunches. So a big Sunday dinner at an Italian household starts at 12, ends at 6 p.m. And he was there one time. And who else was there? The woman from Airplane. And I go, oh, I know the woman from Airplane because why do I know her? And we're talking and getting introduced like, to this person. Tom here works on Everybody Loves Raymond. This is while the show was on the air. She's like, oh, I was in Everybody Loves Raymond. And I'm like, I know you were in Airplane. Were you really in Everybody Loves Raymond? And all of a sudden, like, oh, yes, you played Deborah's boss. Okay, so that's, yes, excellent spot. Now, I'm glad to be talking here with everybody because there's questions that I can answer that you can't find on Google. There's easy stuff. There's something called the Internet Movie Database that you can search and see what everybody's project ever was. And I realize the fluency in looking up stuff. Not everybody has it, nor do they, and that's why I'm happy to answer all of those questions. The cooker lady, remember, how did they get the table to collapse perfectly? Yeah, they did that. Yes, Julie Haggerty, of course. Yes. Ray's real life brother Richard inspired. Okay, Deb, let me see this. By the way, be curious if you guys, I got to go through my feed. Where are you watching me? Are you watching me on a TV, on an iPad, on an iPhone, etc.? Ray's real life brother Richard inspired the character Robert and famously uttered the line, Everybody Loves Raymond. Over the ninth season, did Richard ever jokingly demand writing credit or royalties for giving the show the multi-million-dollar name? Excellent question. So in real life, Ray won a Cable Ace Award, which doesn't exist anymore, for doing the Dr. Katz show, and that Cable Ace was at his house, and Ray's brother Richard was in the house, and he's like, in Ray's house, he's like, everybody loves Raymond. He's like, I go to work, people shoot at me. People, everybody, Ray goes, Ray tells a couple jokes, and he gets an award. That was put in the script, and then Phil Rosenthal's wife is the one who said that should be the title, which Raymond hated. But that's a good question. I will mention, do you guys want to have Richard here as a guest? He doesn't live here, so it'd have to be tied up for when he's, out here. Okay, let's see this. Maddie, I have not seen Maddie. Yes, Dom DeLuise wrote quite a few cookbooks. I will say one time I went to his house and he was rolling out gnocchi all over his house, like all over every kitchen counter was just gnocchi everywhere. And he had birds also. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. This talks about hygiene. I felt very comfortable with Dom DeLuise at his house because he was a bit of a pack rat. He had stuff everywhere. He grew up in the Depression, so he would buy dented cans, even though he lived in a multi-million-dollar house. He would buy on-sale dented cans. I think he grew up in Brooklyn. And I said to Raymond, Ray, you should come and meet Dom DeLuise. Come to his house one day. Okay. And to John Manfrotati. If you're an Italian-American, Dom DeLuise was kind of a known entity and just hysterically funny. About as funny a person as I've ever met. And so I said to Ray's wife, you should come over and meet Dom DeLuise. You guys should come over and just have lunch with Dom. And Anna, Ray's wife, normal, grew up with Sicilian immigrant parents. I said, but just know that he has birds, and the birds fly around a little, not thinking anything of it, because for those of you who have birds as pets, birds are pretty clean, etc. But Anna was like, I don't know if I really want to go eating if the birds are everywhere. And it's not even everywhere. So who went? Me, Raymond, and John Manfrotati. We went and we ate and we had the greatest time ever and took some phenomenal pictures of Dom, who was, absolute a blast and royalty. Okay. Dom DeLuise. Let's look on my phone. Oh, here he is with me and one of his birds. How funny is that? I wouldn't even know that picture. There we go. And focused. Yes, perfect. There's me and Dom DeLuise with one of his birds who were great. He would do magic tricks with them, etc. Okay, before it goes dark, let's see. Do I have a picture of Raymond? So there he is with one of my cameras. And he's giving me a smile, even though it looks like so there he is. That's a Noblex wide, medium format panoramic camera right there. That is a very rare camera, and that's Dom in his kitchen. Let me zoom in a little. Yeah, you can see he's smiling right there on that. What a sweet man. Okay, do I see the picture of Ray? I will find it at some point. So there you go. I'll find it with Raymond, and I'm just curious, who does know Dom DeLuise? Because he would tell Sinatra. He told every kind of story you can imagine. And here he is, even in a younger age. Wow, I didn't know I would talk this much. But yes, a cookbook, a couple of cookbooks. I think Eat This and Eat This Too, something like that. All right. Wait, do I know the name of Conjunction Junction? Let me see. He was quite the character. Jack Sheldon. Yes, Jack Sheldon. Conjunction Junction. Yes. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Let me see this. Let me scroll down. Yes, I know Madeline Sweeten is acting and stuff like that. Funniest movie Dom DeLuise did was Fatso. Watch the ELR live here and type my questions here on my laptop to answer your question. Oh, thank you, Deb. I really do appreciate it. On the laptop seems like an easy thing. Denise, I met Dom DeLuise in Atlantic City backstage after he did a show. Great. Let me see this. The Toaster. Yes. Okay. Let me just scroll up. Italy episode. Yes. Thank you. Hi, Annabelle. I've missed you. Yes. Having brother Richard on and Richard Robert as well. Okay. This is great. And then we have to. Where are we? How are we doing? Oh boy. Look at the time. The Toaster. Now, Deb, I do appreciate your excellent attention to detail of season 3, episode 12. Patricia Heaton was visibly pregnant during the shoot, which is why she is mostly sitting or holding props. Was there an alternative draft of the script where Deborah Deborah went to Bloomingdale's with the family, or was she always written to stay behind to hide the pregnancy? You know, someone asked, I would love to hear about Patricia Heaton being pregnant, and I'm don't know if I want to get into that now in detail. Maybe I'll do it on next week's show in detail. But to answer your question, that was written. Here's how pregnancy works. You get bigger over time. And so we knew she would just be bigger. And so there was never an alternative written, but we knew that she was going to not give birth. So there was no danger of her not being there within reason. I know there's always exceptions. And there was also no danger of us being able to hide her pregnancy if she was standing up. And I have some pictures of her. Did I bounce them off of Patty? She is so pregnant. I found a picture of her standing talking to Lou Schneider. She has curlers in her hair, and she looks very pregnant, exceptionally pregnant. I'm like, how did we hide that? It's crazy. And she's in kind of like a house coat. Okay, I think we should, let me race through this really quickly. Love Jack Sheldon. He was the band leader for the Merv Griffin Show. Okay, these are my people. Yes. Fantastic. Yes, he was. Annabelle. Not Annabelle. Who wrote that? Anne Marie D'Alfonso D'Amelio. Yeah, that sounds like an Italian name almost. Yes, Chris Elliott on Schitt's Creek. Okay, let me go back in here. What happened to Amy's brother Peter? Now, Karen, when you're asking these questions, Chris Elliott did a crazy amount of things. So he comes from show business royalty. Bob and Ray was a comedy team, kind of like Stiller and Mirror, and so Chris Elliott never stopped working. Just so you know. All right, let me scroll through this before we taste a delicious snack. Okay, let's do this. Let's scroll here. Now I'm going to look at my feed. That's me. I still have to adjust that. Okay, Doris Roberts holding her book for our Happy Sunday. Yeah, let me just do that. Yeah, there's Doris Roberts holding her book for backstage, about to be introduced by Raymond. And her book cover, I remember she told me, because I didn't take the photo, she's like, Tom, I have the perfect photo, and the publisher doesn't want to pay the price that they're asking for, but I think it's perfect. And I don't know if you guys have read anything about books, but books are not as popular as they once were. Okay, here we go. So this is a good one. I'm glad I remembered to do this. This mystery, everybody. So Patricia Heaton in her leopard skin dress with boots. And so I just scanned that photo. I did post that thing of how you scan a photo. And I will post the part 2. I'll have to do that. Patricia Heaton wearing those boots and that dress. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me look at the episodes. So someone had a theory, and excuse me, because a couple of people put it forth, but it's a very good theory, which is she was wearing the not Thanksgiving Day hooker outfit, but the Sidewalk Sally outfit, I think. I can't remember all the very revealing PTNA episode. And for curtain call, someone said maybe she threw on the dress that she was wearing in the first scene and kept the boots on. That's probably the best theory, because she did not wear those boots in that dress. But I love that. By the way, that's a very good photo of Patty. So there you go. And then let's see this now. Okay, so this me taking a picture of Patty in the makeup room. She's wearing curlers or Velcro rollers, as they've been calling them, something like that. That only happened on show day. That's Shelley Woodhouse Collins, and I'm holding a medium format camera, I believe. Yes, and that tells me that is the final episode, because I didn't usually walk around with 3 cameras around my neck. But excellent. And then Patty, again, I know I've said it before, super did not care when I was taking photos, which was very good. The only other time I experienced that is I did a charity where someone asked me to take photos of models for mutts or something like that, and it was all models, and it's the first time I've been around a whole bunch of women who weren't self-conscious about their appearance, at least at that moment. There's Raymond and Richard. That is at the final episode curtain call, and the camera's just on them. Ray grabs one of his twins who are there. Both of his twins are there. That's Lorraine Boyle and Peter Boyle there. He puts his arm around his twin. Richard there, John Martin, who worked for HBO, and they're just making small talk. And then I pan, and you can see Lorraine Boyle and Peter Boyle before we go off of this photo. There's Lorraine Boyle and Peter Boyle. Okay, I like this. And then the top of the steps. I don't think I think we're kind of caught up. I know some people say, oh, there's Patricia Heaton at the top of the steps. So one of the questions that people have is like, where do the twins go when they run up the steps? So Patty's on a platform. When they run up the steps, you cut. And then the cameras roll to the bedroom, which is on the ground floor. So you always have to remember that every single scene takes place on the ground floor. Why? Because the cameras have to roll. They have to roll. They can't, it's not like a movie where the cameras can actually, they're shoulder mounted and they can walk upstairs, etc. But through the magic of TV, they disappear up the steps, and then you cut right to inside the bedroom, etc. So there we go. Patty saying hello to me there. Now, let's taste a snack. Let me catch up on things before we wrap it up. Yes, please have Richard on. Yes. Snack, is it? Oh, it's script then snack because of my chocolate-covered hands. We've decided that. Would love to have any casting staff person on as a guest. Yes, Janet. Lisa Miller-Katz, she has been on here before. I will ask her to come back. And I realize, folks, we're coming in on 100,000 followers. For a very long time, we had 20,000, then 25,000, and so the pace is picking up. And I love spreading the words, and I love that you guys spread the word. And also, I noticed a lot of my photos taken by other sites. And the weird thing is, again, they take the photos, they take my original caption, they cut out my watermark, and then they post exactly what I said, which is not good. Don't know why. They can just share it. Mona, books are not as popular because people read books on their Kindle, but it's still nice to have a book on your hand. So let me just tell you something about that. You are 100% right, etc. Wow, so many questions that I've missed. Yes, Madeline was on Christmas, so I'll have her on again if she's willing, which she would be. Did the prop department have to test out multiple high-tech or difficult electric can openers to find the perfect one for the opening scene? What was the can opener for the opening scene? You mean in the can opener episode? Because that was a terrible real-life can opener that Monica Horan bought that caused Phil to have quite a problem. Wait, I was in the middle of a question. I was in the middle of answering a question. Let me see this. Yes. So here, books and popularity. Here, just so you guys, for me, I'm going to share with you when I post a video. So I posted a video of behind the scenes of the wedding, and it was a long scene, and it was a long video. It was like 2 minutes long. Okay. So when I post that video, before I hit share, which I think you guys love to watch, because there's one video where I'm walking up the steps, down the steps, and I go around and I walk through the set, and then you see it from a wide shot. It's a very good establishing shot. It's not good camera work because there's no image stabilization, so it's a little shaky, and some of you people have to put up with being seasick. But books and their popularity related to this, how, Tom? When I post that photo, it says, we will not share this video. We will not share this video, Tom, because it's 3 minutes long. What is the optimal length of a video? It is 17 seconds, okay? So if you're going to be looking at a book, you like to maybe sit down in a chair, open the book, and go, wow, I'm good. Today's audience is very much used to 17 seconds. Like, are you kidding me, Tom? 25 seconds? Who can sit for that long? That's crazy. We're not going to share it. So it rewards me. It says, Tom, if you cut this video, this annoyingly long video that shows a beautiful establishing shot, to 17 seconds, we'll share it many, many more places. Just telling you that. You can fail or you succeed. You can listen to us or not. So I think books, that's one of the reasons books have a tough time. All right. Let's go. Let me scroll for any new questions. Once again, how? Since you tried to hide Patricia's pregnancies, did she go into labor in the back of the police car, or was that just an episode idea? Yes, she did not. That was an episode idea, but excellent question. Let me see this. Okay, let's do this. Scrolling when I say that. That's right. Signed books. Hi, Gil. Signed books are popular. It's a good way to get an autograph. I have quite a few signed books and a few on order. Yes, that is a tricky, fantastic, and they appreciate it way. I'm kidding about the tricky part. Yes, Deb Tucker, Frank, the can opener episode. Yes, to find the perfect one for the opening scene. Yeah, I do think that was just the one that Phil in real life got mad about, which, she's going to, defend to her dying day. The leopard dress. Yes, the leopard dress is from the episode where Ray said parents think she dresses like a tramp. Yeah, and also in the bird episode, which a lot of people have pointed out, going, why would Deborah, the character, wear something to a religious home in Pennsylvania? I don't know. Oh, this Brad is in backwards. Let me see this. I wonder if it's an original thing. This is a Brad, everybody. This thing is a Brad. I'm going to hold off. Okay, so I'm holding a script. We play Guess the Script based on the wardrobe photographs. I saved these from a dumpster, and so I try and show you the photos so you guys can guess. When I open it, it's with Ray Romano. Ray Romano plays a character, Ray Barone, and he dresses the same in almost every show. So if you guess it on Ray's photos, I'm always impressed. Okay, I always have to make sure there's nothing too revealing. Okay, and by revealing, I mean reveals the title. Ray wearing an ill-fitting shirt with pants. Okay, good luck guessing from that. Raymond wearing an ill-fitting shirt that's open with a t-shirt under it and pants. Okay, so that's two of them. That's two hints. I always like looking in the background to see who is in the background of these photos. He's talking to Phil. Okay, let me hold it. Okay, well, I can tell the season by who's in the background. Okay, so Raymond wearing a plaid shirt that's a little bit loose-fitting with pants, and Raymond wearing a loose-fitting plaid shirt with a jacket over it, making a funny face for the wardrobe people. So there we go. See, now Patty is always the easier giveaway. I don't think we showed this. I don't think I've shown this, but oh boy. There we go. See, now that's an identifiable outfit. Now people are going to be able to guess. Gesundheit. There is a robe that everybody comments on. Where can I buy that robe? That is from the Canyon Group, which was very popular back then, and they started up again. I think they're really good robes, but very some people find them pricey. So, okay, let me see. Oh, and then this scene. Oh, I see. So she took the robe off, and that's what she was wearing underneath that robe. There we go. Good thing I can work backwards in an image. Perfect. Okay. Now, going back to this. Peter Boyle. Here we go. Okay, I have to check because someone might have guessed it already. I feel bad. Peter Boyle in Peter Boyle outfit. Classic Frank outfit there as well. Okay, let's check some comments. We don't want another peppermint bark incident, do we? We don't like to talk about that. Okay, here we go. Looks like Mother's Day party. Be nice. Sex talk. Traffic. Interesting. Maybe the ping pong episode. Cookies. Wow, these are a lot of guesses. Let me see. Okay. Did I don't think I. Okay, this won't give it away. Oh, I love that this is there. There is our friend Marie. And there is our friend Marie in front of the big fork and spoon in her kitchen wearing something. Okay. Let me see this. Excellent, excellent. With these notes, here we go. There we go. Marie again. Now I know I'm going to hit a picture that's going to give it away. Do I check the comments? Here we go. Did I do this already? Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm glad that I'm enjoying it. Okay, let me go. I'm going to go up in front here just because it's easier to go fast. Robert in his outfit. Everybody, let's see this. And don't worry, I'll check the comments. It's time stamped, so if you have guessed it. Robert again, there for Instagram. Okay. I should have had a manicure. I've never had a manicure. There is Robert again. Okay, and now this will be a tell. Tina Arning, right? Let's see. There's Tina Arning. And there is Susan Varon, who went to college with Phil Rosenthal. Okay, let me go. So I can't show the next one because it will give it away. Let's go to the tape. Let's go to the board. Here we go. Okay. Yes, peppermint bark incident. Yes. Could that be the episode when Deborah on Thanksgiving morning when she starts stuffing the turkey? Kathy Pine. Very impressive. Kathy Pine, the ride-along. You are correct, Kathy Pine, the ride-along. The letter, people are guessing, just a formality. Robert and Amy's Raymond in the basement. Mother's Day Part 1. The Power of No. The ride-along. Lynn, the ride-along. Yes. Donnell, the ride-along. But Kathy has gone quicker than you. Look, don't touch. Karen, Karen, you have carte blanche of no matter how bad your guesses could be or might be because of your bark, your brittle, your cashew brittle. How about that? Phil Rosenthal interviewed Julie Haggerty and Robert Hayes 4 days ago on his podcast. Robert, yes, that's exactly right. Yes. So here's the picture I couldn't show you because it would give it away. So there you go. There is what would you call him? A criminal, right? And then, can I do this? Then Nemo, of course. Our original Nemo. So once you see them, and then where is Sherry Shepherd though? Yes, Tom. You do know the show. There we go. There is Sherry Shepherd. Sorry, Instagram. There is Sherry Shepherd in her outfit, looking down, and that seems like a picture of nothing, which is not as interesting. So the ride-along. Great guesses, everybody. The ride-along, the one-of-a-kind script that only exists here in my hands, which are going to be covered with chocolate in a few seconds. Okay. Or maybe not. Could be licorice. All right. How are we on? Holy moly. Okay. Now, I'm going to go all the way back in our set. Do we like this? Do we like this? Here, let me put this back here. Hold on. I'm also rolling on carpet, which gets... There we go. Here, let me do this. Yes. Yes. Okay. And now... the canister, and let's see what I've... Okay. That's genuine American steel. Say what you will about it, but beats a house. Okay, here we go. Have we had these? I don't think we've had these. I'm going to do this. Let's do this because, yeah, I don't know how you pronounce that. Does anybody know how you pronounce that? We don't know what country that's from, but it looks like chocolate and orange. I probably will need a napkin ultimately because I will have... By the way, let's see. Let's go back to this. Okay. For those of you who don't know, I am continuing this tradition of we tasted Hydrox versus Oreos in our writer's room and continuing to avoid anything. So hold on. That resembles work. So here we go. I don't know what country this is, but it looks like so it's chocolate with a cake and an orange like filling, right? That's what it's supposed to be. I forget. There's a British Jaffa cakes are like this. Okay, hold on. So, folks, I'm going to eat this in one bite, I think. So don't be grossed out. I don't have a Jaffa cake to compare it, but I know that's what they're known as. I mean, if you like that combo, this works. Let me try number 2. Oh, it's even got the logo on the back. So here we go. What country is that? How do you pronounce wow. D-E-L-I-C-J-E. I have no clue what that pronunciation would be, folks. But I do know it does taste delicious. Okay, hold on. So I eat it like a breath mint because if I don't, I have a waterfall of chocolate coming all over the desk, which it looks like I still do. So it's a deadly good flavor combo, the orange chocolate and then the shortbread cake or something like that from whatever country. And forgive me if you're from that country and you're screaming at it at the screen now. I'm going to give that a 7.6 in deliciousness. That's my second one. I will probably eat them all. I have to get them away from me, otherwise I'll eat them all. All right, final questions before we say goodbye until next week. Or as Bobby would say, aloha. Okay, let me go up. Jaffa cakes are best. It's from Poland. Annabelle, thank you. It's from Poland. Let's see this. Great. It's funny because I was in Poland and I did not. At least I didn't. I don't remember them. Yes, the set looks great. Thomas Gerard. Famous cookie Polish sponge biscuits topped with soft fruit jelly and covered in chocolate. Yes, that is a perfectly accurate description. Let me see. Sorry, when I say let me see, I'm just scrolling through and looking for something. I'm looking at it because it's bigger than the photos. Wow. I love the new set. Thank you, Linda. We're slowly tweaking it. Greg Foster on What's What I Saw. I'm in Australia. I'd love to see them plus the movie. I don't know what that's about. Kathy Pine, yes, is awesome with those questions. I love the way they decorated Allie's room over the years. Yes, a very, very, a really good job by the art department, as they call it, on the show. And let me go. I really neglected Instagram terribly. Okay, here we go. Susan Fortunato, look at the back of the wrapper. Yes, but I'm holding the wrapper. I can't look at the back of the wrapper. That's what I meant. Is the episode of the steam cleaner Deborah brings to Marie's home to clean the carpet? Oh, we're now back at guessing. Okay, yeah, that was a good one. Humvac. That's an excellent guess. Okay, the walk to the door. Hi, yes, thank you. Watching you on my iPhone with ELR on the TV. That's a double dose of Everybody Loves Raymond. Watching her in the UK. Let's see this. Dom DeLuise, classic comic. Yes, okay. So now I think I've caught up. Again, if I didn't answer one of your questions, it's just because I missed it or I just answered it before, etc. So I love it when you write that. And again, I love when people write in and answer the questions for me. I do have this. I have to figure out. Linda sent me a crossword puzzle, and Everybody Loves Raymond crossword puzzle. I'm going to hold it quickly because that one has the answers on it. And this is a blank one, maybe that. So with a lot of questions. So we have to figure out, I rescued it, Linda, from my speaker. We have to figure out how do I get that so I can share it with everybody other than just posting that picture. We'll figure out. I really do appreciate it. All right, final questions here. Next week, I will talk, remind me. Hold on, let me get rid of the noise. There we go. How we hid Patricia Heaton's pregnancy. We'll do a whole thing on that when I have the time of the full episode ahead of me. Okay, this is great. Thank you, Karen. Yes. Everybody should have a great week as well. Enjoying your week less. Yes, enjoying your week live. That's very nice of you. I like it. Yes, these are all very good. All right, folks, I will see you next Sunday. Please point everybody into the direction of this Facebook page. The more followers we get, the better it is for many, many, many different reasons. And we're trying, I'm going to have part 2 of how we digitize one photo. I know it looked like a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but I really enjoy it. And I'm discovering the photos as I digitize them because I took them a long time ago. And after the book was completed, the middle of season 8, I didn't look at the photos as closely because I just shot like mad and then wasn't able to digitize them because for various reasons. But what I wanted to say is a lot of the digitization for the book took place with something called a scanner. And that scanner would take even longer than what the process that I showed you. You would load it in, and then you would just sit there and hear it go, almost like an X-ray machine.
A drum scanner?
It was a it's a Nikon dedicated, yes, drums, not a flat scanner. And I still have that machine, but film went out of vogue. And then all of a sudden a bunch of young people said to me, you know, I shoot film. I'm sure you're just shooting that digital stuff, but I shoot film. And I say, good for you. And then I realized that the Nikon scanner that I have, which I will show you, has been collecting dust. And the wire that you use to hook it up is so antiquated. Firewire 400, a very old format. So I will take you through that journey if you guys are interested. I really do appreciate all of you guys following, etc. All right, have a good week, everybody. Look for these. These are very good. You know, they're not in the cashew brittle territory, but very few things are. All right, have a good week, everybody. Thank you for watching.